Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Tarot. I will be doing your August 15th to September 15th reading. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I will be doing your 12 house astrology reading. My tripod isn't working, so I'm recording myself, but I will show you all of the cards that I had picked, and I had shuffled them right before, so we could just jump right into the reading since I usually take my time. So, first house is you. We have the 9 of Swords. I feel like you guys are very anxious right now. I think a lot of these anxieties are kind of in your head, but you might be having insomnia, you might not be sleeping correctly, you might be having a lot of nightmares when you do fall asleep, and I think a lot of that is because you're putting too much stress and focus on your thoughts right now, when in actuality, a lot of these things you're thinking about so much that you're creating a monster out of them. And I think that a lot of these things are kind of, like I was saying, in your head. So these are all thoughts. They're not necessarily things that are actually manifesting, things that are actually as bad as you might feel like they are. However, I do feel like you're putting a lot of emphasis on it, and you're thinking about every possibility of something that can go wrong at this time, and in doing that you're creating more strife and problems for yourself. I need you to recognize that those aren't all real. Again, they're things that you're putting weight to. It's not things that aren't important or couldn't possibly happening, but it doesn't really make sense to spend all of your time thinking about the possibilities especially when these possibilities that you're thinking are all negative. Because if law of attraction does work, then by constantly thinking about that, you're just drawing that closer and closer into your reality. Your second house is the house of finances. There is the 6 of Pentacles. So I do feel like there's a possibility that I think that you're helping someone else out. This is really truly what I feel. I didn't feel like it was as much as somebody helping you out, but I think that you may have more finances and resources than somebody else does that is very important to you in your life. And I think that you know that they're able to give you something in return, but it's not the same thing. So it could be emotional, like support or health, where you're able to give them something financial. I do believe that you at this time are giving them something in exchange for that, but it's not necessarily equal. But I do think you're helping somebody out. Now, what I do have to say is sometimes when we help people out monetarily, especially Scorpios, if they don't give you it all back, or if they're not doing the right thing by you, you will hold a grudge against them. So if you are giving to someone to try to help them, I need you to recognize if they are someone that's actually going to pay you back, or it's going to feel worth it, or if you're going to resent them later on. Because if you're going to resent them later on, then I don't believe this is a good idea for you at all. This person that could be borrowing for you could be a Virgo, just because the card next to it is the Hermit, but it could also be really any sign of the zodiac. This could also mean that this is happening in Virgo time, which will occur after August 21st, I believe. Yeah. So it could just also be happening in Virgo time. Now, the third house is the house of communication, and the card that came up with that is the Hermit. This is associated with the Virgo card. You can be talking to a Virgo in your life, and communication issues could occur because they are trying to withdraw while you are trying to pull things out of them. It is also a possibility that at this time communication is not flourishing because you want to be left alone and figure out what it is that your problems with communication are, and you might need to do that by withdrawing from other people. So I do feel like you are the person that you need to listen to at this time, and not necessarily other people. If you are dealing with a Virgo, I don't think that it's going to be very easy because they're trying to pull back, but it could be necessary if there is both going on, that you need to also pull back and listen to yourself a little bit more. And I don't think that in communication you need to be asking other people for advice. If there's issues going on in your life and the anxieties that you cause that are all in your head, I don't think you need to talk to other people about them. And it could be because you might feel like you're bothering them in doing so, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's that you need to figure it out by yourself, because by talking to other people about it, you're feeding into it even more. Whereas if you're alone, it's only so long that you can beat a dead horse. If you talk to other people, they're giving you that leeway. Eventually, you're going to tell yourself to shut up. So I think you need to pull back and kind of not talk to people as much about it. That doesn't mean keeping everything in. It means listening to yourself about what you should truly do, because nobody else knows but you. 4th house is the house of home. You have the 2 of Pentacles. Responsibilities at home could be doubling up. Perhaps you're really trying to take care of someone at this time. Maybe you're living with someone and that's how you're doubling up on duties. Maybe this person lost their job, or you're living with someone that you're caring for, that you're actually taking care of them, like health-wise. And I think that you just have doubled up on your responsibilities at home. This is not something that you can't do. It's not something that's impossible. It is something that is difficult, and it is something that is fated. The reason why I say that is that red ribbon, because I do feel that that's something that means that it's something you're meant to go through. And when I say it's something you're meant to go through, it might be because perhaps you were often more selfish, and now you're given this opportunity to take care of someone else. And it's giving you a lot of responsibility, and it's bearing a lot of weight, but it's not something you can't do. It's just creating more compassion within you. And it's creating a healthier work ethic for yourself as well. I do believe that this could also be that you're struggling with 2 jobs to keep up with payments around the home, or you're taking on a second job of sorts. The 5th house, house of romance, I have the 8 of Pentacles. You could be interested in someone, and I feel like you're really trying to study them. You might not be very aware of everything that this person is about. And I think that's why you're so interested in them. You want to know everything. So I think that this person could be very, they're someone who works very hard. They're someone who doesn't get anything very easily. They're someone who could be a master at their own craft in a way. I believe that they are also someone who is very like work first and relationship later, and I think this is something unusual to you because you're used to taking care of people all the time, or trying to do so. And I feel like now you're really starting to learn about someone who's not used to being taken care of, or who's not used to not getting it, like who's not used to not having to work very hard because they always had to before. So like now with you, you're trying to kind of step in and give them more of an option. I think this could be a new relationship, or it could be a resurgence of something that you're really starting to learn a lot more about them. But I do believe that this person could also be going back to school soon. So you could be involved with someone who is going for another degree, if not their first. And I think they're putting that before you. You could also be helping them to get that. Maybe you're working harder around home so this person can focus on school if it is a romantic relationship. The 6th house is the house of why did that just blank? Okay. 6th house is the house of health. Sorry, I was like, I'm being service to others. And the card that I have here is the Lovers. So I do feel like you have a hard choice. I feel like this hard choice is you taking care of somebody else. Maybe someone that you have a romantic relationship with. And I feel like the choice right now is to put somebody before yourself. And I'm not saying Scorpios are selfish, because I really don't think you guys are selfish people. But I do believe that it could be something that is a little unusual to how much you're putting on about this other person, how much you're taking care of them. And I think you're learning a lot about like their faults while you are doing so. I feel like it's a hard choice for you to make this decision to truly be fully there for them. I think that it's also causing a lot of anxiety because it's breaking the idea of like the strong person that you had in mind for them. You also might be trying to do a lot more than you're actually capable of doing to keep this person happy. The 7th house is the house of marriage, partnerships, proposals, things of that nature. I have the Queen of Swords, so I do feel like you're starting to be very cold to this person, or this person might be cold to you, which may come off as very anxiety-ridden because you might be taking care of them. I believe right now that you are taking care of another person, and I believe that they're not really giving you everything that you need emotionally. I believe that they might be acting cold towards you, they might be acting like they're angry at you, even though that you're trying to do everything for them. You might also be feeling emotional distance from them, and therefore you're starting to withdraw as well. I do feel like this person can be, like, they remind you of, like, a cold mother or an uncaring maternal figure that you might have had before, and this might be creating some problems within you, or within how you deal with romantic relationships or relationships in general right now. But I do think that there is like a coldness that is occurring. I also believe in the 8th house, the house of transformation. We have the 3 of Cups. So I never think of the 3 of Cups as like celebration. I truthfully, like, even though it says it's a card of celebration, I always see 3 of Cups as like someone is trying to impede on a relationship. And I do feel like it's a possibility that you're interested in someone outside of the relationship. It is also a possibility that you're really just glorifying like a single life, a life that everyone else is contributing to in celebration, where everyone is kind of going out and doing things all the time. I feel like you're starting to glorify that and feel like you're not able to do that, and you might be feeling stressed out and angry at or resentful at another person because of it. It also being in the 8th house tells me that it's something that you need to transform your view about, especially when it comes to like people that you are emotionally like drawn to. I just feel like you're emotionally drawn to people and you don't necessarily recognize always that some people go through things and they like withdraw. I think you start to look elsewhere when that occurs, honestly. So I think that you might be wandering and have a wandering eye. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going after it, but beware of it because it can create a transformation in your life, and that's not always a positive. 9th house, we have the 10 of Wands. 9th house is all about our spiritual ideas, higher purpose, higher learning, things that we're moving towards. I feel like you've been very burdened recently. I feel like it's been a very hard struggle for you to get what you want, to do what you want. I feel like it's been a struggle for you spiritually to feel connected to anything higher, to feel like things are the way that they're supposed to be or are what they seem. And I do feel like though you are having a lot of these struggles right now and it feels like you're really just pushing to get by, I do believe that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and we always go back to the beginning, which means the new opportunities are right around the corner. But I do think that you're in a period right now where you kind of just don't feel connected to anyone or anything. And I think it's like making you feel depressed. So I do feel like there is this burden that you're putting on yourself, and it's because you don't feel connected to something right now, and it's the reason being is because you're overthinking. And I think the reason being too is that people aren't communicating with you right now, and you're starting to withdraw because other people are starting to feel cold towards you. I don't think that if there's another person that you're interested in, I don't think looking outside of that is going to help, however. 10th house is the house of careers. I have the 5 of Cups. So I don't know if you're working multiple jobs, it's a possibility that one of them you may lose. Or like one of your side jobs you may lose, or you might make less money. Maybe perhaps you work on tips, or you work on, how much work you're actually getting, and maybe at this time like you're starting to feel a little bit of a loss. The problem that comes with this is you might be grieving that loss so much that you're not recognizing that you still have stuff behind you, and by doing that you can just wait until this water actually totally disappears in the cups, because you're focusing on what's lost, but you still have 2 full cups. So if you don't recognize that you have these 2 full cups, eventually they're just going to evaporate. And then you're going to be stuck with nothing. So this does symbolize conflict and change, especially with the number 5, especially within a job. So I do feel like there will be a change in a job. If it is not a loss of one of those assets, then I just do feel like not as much money may come in at first, and maybe it might have been something that you weren't prepared for as you're like trying to give to other people. This could be some of the reasons for stress as well. Your 11th house is the King of Wands. This is about friends. This is about like helping others, community, things of that nature. This is the King of Wands. So with the King of Wands here, I feel that your friends you might be feeling a little bit jealous of your friends. I think your friends are starting to do very well for themselves. I believe that they are showing a lot of confidence, that they are showing a lot of power. I think that they're starting to fall into their own. Maybe things that you've been working with other people are working out for them and not working out for yourself right now. With the King of Wands, I need you to recognize that the King also, when the King flourishes, everyone else in the community does as well. The King of Wands is somebody who also is compassionate towards others, but he just kind of wants what he wants, and he does things creatively. If there's something that you've wanted to do that someone else is doing and it's succeeding in, you shouldn't be feeling jealous about it. You should be feeling inspired. This is a leader. You have leaders in your friendships, in your friend groups, or people that you will meet in your community that are able to help you. But if you're feeling sorrow or anger towards their accomplishments, you're not going to gain any of your own. So I do feel that you might be feeling some kind of a jealousy, but it's not necessary. They're actually someone who's meant to help you in your life. The 12th house is the 3 of Swords. You may be breaking your own heart, or you may need to break someone else's heart. I say that because the 12th house is like the unknown. This is hidden. This is something that is at the heart of the reading. And the 3 of Swords is a heartbreak, yes, and it could be a betrayal, but it's also something that, you could be needing to end. You could be taking care of someone, like, that you're in love with, very much so, but you could be looking outside of the relationship, and that could be why you need to end it, because you shouldn't have to look outside of it in the first place, and I think you know that. This person could have also been looking outside of it, and maybe that's why you needed to end it. Maybe you were really taking care of this person all along, and you're starting to see them for what they are, and you're starting to see that they are picking someone else over you or doing their own thing. If that's the case, this is a decision that you need to make that is for your own good, and it might be weighing heavy on your conscience. It might be something that you've been wanting to do for a while, but you're just very scared of doing it right now. But though it is a burden, someone's being very cold towards you. So you need to make a hard choice against someone in love. Unfortunately, Scorpios, this is one of the most difficult readings I've given today so far. And the bottom of the deck is the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles is like being left out in the cold. So I feel like someone's hurt you. And I feel like you know who that person is, and it's someone that you've been trying to give everything to, maybe more than you were meant to. I think that you need to recognize your worth. I think that it would be beneficial for you guys at this time to really meditate and look within for your own answers. I'm here to guide you and give you advice, but that doesn't mean you need to take it. As I said with the Hermit card before, you're the only person that knows what to do. But if you have been taking care of someone financially and they are crossing you, and you might feel like you're left out in the dark because of it, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case. You might be left out in the dark in a way, but it could be because that person's not meant for you. And if you're feeling jealous about what other people have right now, that's not going to help you either. You're going to have to look at them for what they can actually help you with and how they can help you provide. So look at the people in your life as leaders, because they will help you get where you need to go. Relationship-wise, you might need to cut someone off. You might need to see things for what it is, and I think this is going to cause you to look into things, especially with that 8 of Pentacles over there in the romance section. I feel like you're really trying to study what they're doing right now, but the truth is kind of coming out. And though there might be a loss that you are feeling with that 5 of Cups, you still have abundance behind you. You still have things. And this is all a test right now, so that you're able to really propel forward in your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I'm sorry that it's not all good news, but if you get through this month, then by the time we are in Libra season and getting closer to Scorpio season, closer to when you're in your power, I believe that all of this mess will be settled. And I believe by then we'll have a lot more clarity. So right now things might seem a little bit difficult, but it's only for your greatest good. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Again, sorry. I will see you guys next month. Thank you for watching.